This is my iPhone 16e in 2025. Clean, minimal, and set up to help me stay productive every day. From layout to app choice, here's exactly what's on my iPhone right now. Let's start with the wallpaper. Right now I'm using one from the Skyline pack by Basic Apple Guy. This one's called Golden Hour Storm. It's minimal, but the colours are stunning and I think it gives my whole setup a really clean, polished look. I actually use the same wallpaper across my iPad and Mac too. I feel like it just ties everything together nicely. I do like switching it up within the pack, but Golden Hour Storm is definitely my favourite colour option. If you want to check it out for yourself, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Now let's talk about my actual layout. I keep things super simple with just 3 pages, each focused on a specific area. My Apple apps, work apps, and social apps. Each page has a single widget to complement the apps below, and I found this setup keeps everything on my phone clean and easy to navigate. Starting with the Apple page, this is where I keep my 4 most used Apple apps, along with a custom widget from Widgy. Widgy's been a great way to make my iPhone feel a little more personal, especially now that Apple lets you place apps anywhere on the screen. The widget you're seeing here actually blends right into the wallpaper. Widgy actually allows you to set the widget's background to match your wallpaper perfectly. It's a really subtle detail, but it makes the whole home screen feel more intentional. They've got loads of different widget designs too, so if you're looking to refresh your setup, I definitely recommend giving it a go. As for the apps on the page, I've got Photos, Find My, Fitness and Apple Music. I'm constantly bouncing in and out of these apps. My Apple Watch is always on my wrist, so I use the Fitness app to track all of my activity metrics. And I'm obsessed with Apple Music. It's my go-to for streaming. I love the clean design, and for me it's one of the best options out there. That being said, I am currently testing YouTube Music, which is packaged into my YouTube Premium subscription, so we'll have to see how that goes. Next up is my work page, and honestly, this is probably the most important page on my phone. Every app here plays a key role in my day-to-day life, whether I'm teaching, creating content, or just staying organized. At the top of the page is a widget from an app called Left. It's one of the coolest time tracking tools I've come across, and I actually recently featured it in my Cool App of the Week series. The widget you're seeing here shows how many days are left in the year, but that's just scratching the surface. Left transforms how you perceive time through these elegant visuals. You can track time by days, weeks, months, even your entire life if you want to, although that feature stresses me out a bit too much. It's fully customizable with interactive widgets, milestone notifications, and different symbols like stars, hexagons, or even hearts. I use it to remind myself of how much time I've got left to hit my goals in 2025. And honestly, it keeps me more focused than any productivity app ever has. Now, onto the apps I use every single day. First up is Spark, my go-to email client. I've used this app for years and I can confidently say it's the best free alternative to Apple Mail. The interface is clean and easy to navigate, but what makes Spark stand out is how smart it is. You get priority inbox sorting, quick replies, reminders to follow up on emails, and even built-in AI tools to help you write faster if you're willing to sign up to the Pro version. Everything syncs perfectly across my devices and I've had 0 issues with any of that. If you're not happy with the default Mail app, give Spark a try. I'm not signed up to the Pro version and I still prefer Spark over the alternatives. Then there's YouTube Studio, an essential for managing the channel. I use it to track views, monitor performance, check comments, and keep an eye on my earnings. It's not the flashiest app, but it is vital for any creator on the go. Next is probably my favorite app of all time, Notion. This app literally organizes my entire life. From my full-time job as a teacher to YouTube, content planning, script writing, finances, personal goals, it's all inside Notion. The level of customization here is incredible. I've got dashboards for everything, templates that I've tweaked over the years, and the best part, it's available on every single device I use. I can plan and script a video on my iPad, refine it on my Mac, and then double check everything on my phone. It's the most powerful tool I use, and it's completely changed the way I stay organized. If you have never used this app, then I cannot recommend downloading it and trying it out enough. And finally, there's ChatGPT. This has become my own personal assistant at this point. I use it for everything, helping with video ideas, writing descriptions, researching products, answering questions. I'd usually Google. It's just faster and more accurate, more tailored to what I need. I've even assigned my iPhone 16e's action button to launch ChatGPT directly because I genuinely rely on it that much. It saves me so much time every single day. Now, finally, we have got the social page. This is where I keep all the platforms I'm currently active on. Before looking at those though, at the top is the Not Boring Weather widget, which is actually another app I have featured in my Cool iPhone app series. Not Boring Weather is one of the most playful weather apps out there, with animated, skin-based designs that change depending on the forecast. You can add matching widgets to your home screen or lock screen, and the whole thing just feels fun. It's not just a visual gimmick either. The information is solid and the experience is genuinely useful. So, underneath this widget, I've got YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok, all apps where I'm focused on growing a following. I'm putting a lot more effort into Reels and TikToks lately, so if you're not already following me over there, definitely check that out. I'm posting regularly and giving a bit more of a behind the scenes look into the channel. Before we wrap things up, I want to shout out a few apps that aren't on my home screen pages, but I still use them a lot. First up is Playtomic. I've recently got into Padel, and this app has honestly transformed the experience for me. It's how I book all my courts, but more than that, it's connected me with so many people. Thanks to Playtomic, I've been able to train with different players, join open matches, and even compete to improve my own ranking. It's made the sport way more accessible and social, and I genuinely think it's one of the reasons I've stuck with it. If you haven't tried Padel yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Just download Playtomic and see what's available near you. You might be surprised by how easy it is to get started. Next up is Waze. I use this app every single time I get in the car. It's just become second nature at this point. The routing is fast, super accurate, and it always seems to know the best way to avoid traffic. But what really makes Waze stand out for me is the community element. I love how you can report things like traffic jams, speed cameras, hazards, or even cars stopped on the side of the road. And because everyone else is doing the same, it feels like this real-time, crowd-powered network that's constantly working to give you the best route. I also really like the interface. It's modern and easy to read while driving. It just feels more alive than other navigation apps. I've tried others, but I always end up back with Waze. And last up is voice memos. This might seem like a bit of a random choice, especially since it's a built-in Apple app. But lately, I've come to rely on it a lot more than I expected. I never used to use voice memos at all, and I've recently invested in a new Rode microphone with USB-C, which lets me record directly into my iPhone. Honestly, the voice memos app has been perfect for that. Every voiceover you hear in my YouTube videos or any platform really has been recorded straight into this app. The interface is super clean now, and one of my favourite features is the built-in transcription that shows up right after you finish recording. It's surprisingly accurate and makes the whole editing process a lot smoother. From there, I just airdrop the file to my Mac and drop it into Final Cut Pro, done in seconds. If you're a content creator looking to streamline your voiceover workflow, this app has genuinely made a difference for me. So, that's my iPhone 16e setup for 2025. Clean, minimal, and built entirely around how I actually use my phone day to day. From the wallpaper to the apps, everything here plays a part in helping me stay focused, productive, and a little more creative. So if you've found a new app to try in this video, or just some inspiration for your own setup, let me know in the comments below. And if you are still watching up to now, then definitely hit the thumbs up button and think about subscribing to the channel to see lots more content like this. For now though, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.